to see you back with us here on Shoe Time in the Morning with Mitch, and we are going to get right to business. Hope you're doing well out there. Everything is going well. Here is the deal, folks. Boy, especially last weekend, it was a scorcher of a weekend.
Ooh, yeah.
It was hot, all right? What that leads us to is something very important. The human body is consisting of between 60% and 70% water. What that means is that you need to consistently drink water to rehydrate, right? Water is a necessary function, keeping your blood flowing. It also keeps your muscles hydrated. It also flushes your system. And in a very, 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 hopefully never for you guys, long down the line, if you don't drink enough water, you can get waste and solids in your body, and it could form into the dreaded kidney stone. Now, people have had kidney stones the day before, and let me tell you, they're painful. A good buddy of mine had kidney stones, and he is I'll just say he's a tough individual. And he said he was on his hands and his knees in pain from the kidney stone outside of the hospital. All right? All I'm going to say is, you don't want to experience that. Make sure you drink enough water. A good, easy way to do it is drink at least 8 glasses of water per day. If you're a bigger person or a more muscular person, they usually say take your weight, divide it by 2, and that is the minimal amount of ounces in water that you want to drink. But for some of you lighter, young men and young women that are 90 pounds, this doesn't mean drink 45 ounces. You should drink 8 ounces minimum. And if you get bigger, then you do the math that way. Okay? Now, so far we've learned about our trapezius, which is responsible for the shoulders coming up towards the ear. I don't know. Motion. All right, we learned about our deltoids, which move the arms about the ball and socket joint. Today, we're going to learn a new muscle. And this muscle is called the pectoralis major. All right? It is your chest muscle. Now, the chest muscle is responsible for bringing the arms in front of the body. All right? There are upper chest and lower chest portions of the chest. If you bring the arms up from the bottom, that is part of the lower chest. You bring it from the top down towards the middle, that is the upper chest. But the most common exercise done to strengthen the pectoralis major, which is the chest muscle, the pectoralis, P-E-C-T-O-R-A-L-I-S, major, is either the push-up or, if you're in the gym, the bench press. They're the same motion, except one, you're laying on your back utilizing weights as resistance. One, you are on your hands and toes utilizing your body weight as resistance. All right? I'm going to show you the push-up right now. First and foremost, some common mistakes. All right? Common mistakes are your hands are too far above your head when you're doing a push-up. When you do a push-up, just like generating force if you were a lineman, all right, you want your hands directly underneath your shoulders, okay? I'm going to get on my hands and my toes. You're going to have your hands directly underneath your shoulders. You're going to be on your toes with a flat back. You don't want to sag your back, and you don't want to arch your back, all right? You don't want your hands in front of your head. This is an easier position to hold for some of you, so you try to do this, and your push-ups look like this. You're not utilizing your pectoralis major. All right? What you're going to do is hands underneath your shoulder, right? Toes out flat. And you're going to bring your body all the way down lower and push up. All the way down lower and push up. Now, you can choose to have a narrow grip or a wide grip, and it's going to change the involvement of the muscles. The tricep works in this, but we haven't learned about it yet. Just know that it is a compound movement because multiple joints are moving. But know the pectoralis major, the deltoid, and the tricep work in the push-up. But push-up position properly once again, all right? Hands under the shoulders, on your toes. You're going to make sure they're perfectly under your shoulders. You're going to lower yourself down, push yourself up. All right? Don't try to lower the body. All right? Don't try and touch your head to the ground. Just only joints that are moving right now are your shoulders and your elbows, and then push yourself up. And that is how you strengthen the pectoralis major. Mr. Mitchell?
Okay, so when we're talking about doing these exercises, and when we're talking about watching the videos and doing the yoga, and we're talking about watching the video and doing the 8-minute high-intensity interval training workouts, we're talking about integrity. We're talking about, another name for integrity is what you guys have been talking about for here at Bret Hart. It's Hr2. It's honesty, it's respect, and it's responsibility. So we are talking about you giving it your best effort. And we cannot micromanage you in this COVID time. You have to micromanage yourself. You have to be able to say to yourself, I'm trying and I'm doing the best that I can. I am trying the hardest that I can during this 30-minute exercise, or this 20-minute exercise, or this 10-minute exercise. I am giving it my all. That is integrity. When you have the ability to say to yourself, are you trying as hard as you can? And you look at yourself and you say no. And then you say to yourself, well, maybe I can try harder. And you do try harder. That's what it's all about. Because honestly, if you think about integrity, if you think about all the things that you do in life and you are responsible for, are you doing it? Are you giving it your all? Are you doing it as hard as you can? There are many chances for you to just say, no, I don't want to do it. I'm too tired today, or I just don't feel like it. But we're asking you, when you do these videos and you do these workouts, we're asking you to give it your all. Even though we're not watching you 24/7, we're still asking you to give it your all. Because if you do, you will see a change in your body. You will become stronger. You will see muscles that you never thought you had. You will become more flexible. You will be doing things that you never thought you could ever do, because the more you do these videos, the better you will get, the stronger you will get, the more flexible you will get. And Mr. Schumann and Mr. Morningside, let's face the fact, when it's all done, the only person you really have to worry about is the person that you look in the mirror. I'm talking about the man in the mirror.
I want to piggyback off of what Mr. Mitchell said. I have a couple principles for you to consider, and I really am piggybacking off of what Mr. Mitchell was saying just a couple moments ago. Is all gave some gave all. You're in one of two categories. You're either going to give your all, that means 100%. So when you're doing the push-ups that Mr. Shoemaker was showing you, you're going to do them like he does. If you can't do 10 or 12 like he does, then do 5 or 6. As Mr. Mitchell said, you build on that. You'll get better. You'll get stronger. The next week, maybe you can do 6 or 7, 7 or 8. Then before you know it, you're doing what Mr. Shoemaker's doing. Maybe doing sets of 10, sets of 15. Keep working it. You want to be in the first category. All gave some. And then some gave all. All right? Be that person who gives all to the exercise. And again, we can't babysit. You can't hold your hands. You're doing this virtually. Do your very, very best.
Now, Mr. Martin,
yes,
that sounds like what I like to call the rule of progressive overload. All of you guys are starting at variously different points. Some of you guys might be able to do 25 push-ups right now, no sweat. Some of you guys might not be able to do a single push-up. But we're all starting from our very, very beginning stance portion right now, wherever you are. Okay? If you can't do one push-up today, you just try. Try to lower yourself down slowly with resistance. And then try to lower yourself down slowly with resistance, and then push up as far as you can. Eventually, within the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you'll be able to do one push-up. Now, the rule of progressive overload says you always try to do just a little bit more than you did the day before. And you know what? If you did that just every single time we worked out, try to get better, you would go from 0 push-ups to, let's say in 3 weeks you were able to do 1 push-up. And then you did 1 push-up and a half. And then you did 2 push-ups. By the time this semester is over, you'd be able to do at least 7 or 8 push-ups from 0, all right? So we're just starting you out, getting you going there, all right? We want you to be the best you that you can be, not for us, all right? This is the deal. Just as Mr. Mitchell said earlier, and Mr. Moore-Himwick said, right now, you're in our classes. And sure, we want you to be good for our classes. We're teaching you, we want to see you succeed. But this stuff here is for your life, all right? In a year, 2 years, 10 years, hopefully you still remember us. And you say, hey, we had a great time even though that we were in a shelter-in-place and it was crazy. But if you don't remember us, so be it. You're still going to have yourself to live with for the rest of your life. Hopefully you find a career and something that you enjoy doing. And we'd like you to be healthy and alive and able to get up and enjoy life at the time. When you're 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, if you can't move, if you're stuck on the couch because you gained too much weight to move, or your joints don't move because you didn't utilize them, that's not going to be a very good life, people. If you're stuck, you'll be alive, but you'll be stuck in one place. So, if you stay healthy now, and you utilize the principles and the stuff that we're trying to teach you now, and you learn about nutrition, which we will learn about, and you can be focused on being healthy, when you are older, when you are the father or the mother of your own family, and you have a 10-year-old, a 12-year-old of your own, and they say, Dad, Mom, I want to go out to the pool and swim. Can you come with me? Dad, Mom, I want to go out and hit some baseballs, or let's go for a hike. If you're in good shape and healthy, you'll be able to do that, all right? Many of your parents are good examples of that. And some of you guys are in a situation where maybe you are not in the best dynamic to go out and enjoy those things. You got a lot of life to go, and all we're doing is building health and knowledge for you to live a healthy life, not just today, but for the entirety of your entire life.
Thank you. That's a great addition. And listen, again, just to review, all gave some gave all. Be that person that gives all. Be different. Be different. Second principle I want to share with you. If you cheat in PE, you'll cheat in life. If you cheat in 7th and 8th grade PE, you'll probably cheat in high school PE. You might cheat in your college courses. You might cheat in friendships. You might cheat on your taxes. Look, some of you are in habits of taking the easy way. You know what that means, guys, right? It's easy to cut corners. Don't cut corners. When you do a push-up, do it like Mr. Shoemake did. I would rather you do 1 good push-up than 10 push-ups like the tent he was doing, or the dead type of cat. You know how his body was like that. Do 1 good one. The next week, do 2. Small incremental steps of improvement. I was thinking, guys, I've got another question for you.
All right?
All right, let's hear it.
Here's the question. Favorite movie and why? Favorite movie and why?
Now, we were talking about boxing for a while. And all 3 of our websites, when you go to our homepage, you'll see pictures of boxers on it. So it made me think about boxers, and I was thinking about my favorite boxing movie. And I'm going with Cinderella Man. I don't know if you kids have seen Cinderella Man. It's a movie that has Russ Crowe in it, and it's during the Depression, and he's fighting, and I like this movie because he's fighting with integrity and honor. He's fighting for his kids because he's poor, because it's the Depression, and he's giving it his all because his family is at stake. And I really love that movie. It's a great movie, and it's called Cinderella Man.
What about you, Mr. Shoemake?
Are we doing favorite movie or favorite boxing movie?
You can do anything you want.
All right.
But you are a boxing fan, but anything you want.
Boxing is my favorite sport. For those that have had me last year, that are in Mr. Moore-Himwick's class, know. And for my students now you know, boxing is my favorite sport. I'll talk about my favorite movie. I think my favorite boxing movie, I'll come back to you on that. My favorite movie, as of right now, I would say, is a movie called Fury. Fury is a movie that takes place during World War II, and they follow a tank, 1 single tank, through the end of the war. And what it is 4 basically strangers when they start the war that have become brothers united amongst battle. And in this battle, they've seen the most atrocious things possible to mankind. War, I hope you guys never have to experience war. I hope that you young men and young women never have to go through that. But war, particularly World War II, was a very violent war, and the growth and camaraderie that can come from being in that environment, scared together, and seeing the development over that is something that I think kind of goes into my personal philosophy. Kind of like Mr. Mohammed said, all gave some gave all. Sometime you may find yourself in a situation where, like it or not, you're up against it. And you can choose to quit, or you can choose to go all the way and see it out. Remember, fortune favors the bold. But my favorite movie at this current time is a movie called Fury.
How about boxing? How about boxing, Mr. Shoemaker?
My favorite boxing movie. That's a great one because there are a lot of boxing movies out there, and some of them really aren't that good for a boxing fan. I think my favorite boxing movie, I would say right now, is a movie called, well, you know what? Actually, Rocky 1 is probably one of the best boxing movies, in my opinion. So I'm going to say Rocky 1, but I'm going to say it because I got a sneaking suspicion someone else likes boxing movies.
Yeah, get this, man. Yes, Rocky 2. Now, you guys know I get excited about this. I love Rocky 2. The first Rocky is wonderful. I think the Rocky movie, Rocky 1's a better movie. Look, the very ending, I'm getting goosebumps. I mean, literally. The last 3-4 minutes of Rocky 2 is just phenomenal. I don't want to give it away, but please watch Rocky 1, then watch Rocky 2. And how many Rockies are there? Like 6?
There's 5 Rockies and there's 2 Creeds.
All right? The very ending of Rocky 2 is the picture of what we've all been talking about. You have 2 competitors. Only one wins. I won't tell you who it is. I won't tell you how it happens. All I'll say is, please make the time to watch the end, at least, of Rocky 2. I would suggest you watch Rocky 1 and 2, but at least try to watch the end of Rocky 2. It is an encouragement to me, and I'm not kidding. That's got me through workouts when I wanted to quit. It was too hot. I would think about that movie, and I would put on the theme song, and it gets me through workouts. Call me weird. They do, but that's what I try. I try to get things done, and I need motivation. I need help. I need encouragement. So I would just lastly say, encourage one another, build each other up in your family, encourage your parents, encourage your siblings if you have siblings, and even pet your dog or scratch your cat.
All right.
Oh, Mr. Mitchell.
Guys, we love it. We love you having us here. Why are we doing this, Mr. Morning?
Well, we're doing it to build healthy relationships, Mr. Shoemaker, and you know how? Through Hr2. Honesty, respect, responsibility.
And remember, whatever you do, always keep on pushing. Times are going to be hard. Right now is a challenging time for yourself in this environment. It's challenging for us, all right? Some of you guys aren't allowed to see your friends. Most of you guys aren't getting out of the house. But we're going to fight this thing together. We're going to make it through. Be safe. Be healthy. Remember to wash your hands. Keep your family safe. And we will see you next time around the bend. And be thinking about what your favorite movie is, because we might ask you about it. All right? Excellent job. Push on 3. 1, 2, 3.